Hi guys, just in off the golf course with one of my juniors, and we found ourselves in what I would say is a pretty typical situation. We're on a long par 4, he's knocked it into the semi-rough down the side of the fairway. He's undecided whether he should go with a long iron, he's thinking 4 or 5 iron, or maybe he should go with one of his rescues or his fairway woods and try and carry it there. So we had a chat about it, and I wanted to give you guys my view on what the better option is. So, and try and explain my reasons behind it. I hope I can do a good job of that. So in terms of hitting fairway woods and rescues, I want to talk to you about something called gear effect on a golf club. So because of the size of the head of a club, the centre of gravity on the rescues and the fairway woods is kind of back here, somewhere away from the face. So if you have an off-centre hit, the club face will actually twist around that centre of gravity point, which causes quite a bit of turn on the club face. You may have seen some phantom camera footage of these impact positions. Well worth having a look on YouTube. It's quite interesting to see how much the club gets deflected when there's an off-centre impact. Worth having a look if you want to search through YouTube for phantom camera footage. It's very good. So what's the problem with that, you say? Well, when we hit it off centre here, during impact, the ball will actually roll across the face. It's called gear effect. So it's like two gears rubbing against each other. The ball will roll across the face towards the centre. It will create an element of curve spin as the ball flies then. So if you hit it off the toe, it's going to curve right to left. If you hit it off the heel, it will curve left to right. I'm talking about a right-handed golfer in these two situations. So, not great. We mishit it slightly and we end up creating spin that we're really not looking for. So the manufacturers have been quite clever in what they've done. I hope you can see this now as you look at it. I've put this rod on to show the actual extended curve on it, but what they've done is they've curved the face of the wooden clubs, or what used to be called wooden clubs back in the day. So there is an actual curve across the face there, and what this does is, when we have an off-centre hit, it will propel the ball off the toe for a right-handed golfer to the right, and off the heel to the left. We will then have our curve spin, which in theory should bring this back on target. Always looking to get the ball on target, obviously. Now, this is all predicated on the basis that we have friction. We need a clean golf ball, we need a clean golf club, we need nothing between club face and ball to reduce that friction. We need maximum friction in order to get our gear effect, in order to get our curve spin on the ball. So, when we hit our wooden clubs out of the semi-rough, there is always the risk that there's going to be grass between the club face and the ball. We reduce the amount of gear effect, the amount of curve spin that we put on the ball. However, there's no change to the design of the club face. The ball is still propelled either left or right based on whether you hit it off the heel or the toe. So the ball itself is going to fly dead straight, either left or right, because we didn't have enough friction. Now, when we get down to hitting an iron, because the centre of gravity in the iron is close enough to the face, there's minimal twisting of the club face when we have an off-centre impact. So there's a minimal amount of gear effect. So the club face on an iron is designed to be pretty flat, pretty good, because we don't need to propel the ball to one side to make an allowance for the curve. So when I talk to my players about hitting out of the semi-rough, or indeed it applies if you've got a wet day, the golf ball is wet, the club face is wet, any situation where there's going to be reduced friction between the club face and the ball, I always recommend my guys hit an iron rather than hitting fairway woods and rescues. When you consider the design of most club courses as well, I know if you're playing championship golf, they can be designed to play more difficult. But your average members course, generally speaking, you know, you come up 15, 20, 25 yards short of the green, but on target, you're going to be in the fairway. If you go left, if you go right, there'll be bunkering, there may be a water hazard, there may be heavy rough. The design of the greens as well, the way they'll slope generally from back to front. So if you're in that fairway 15, 20 yards short of the green, there's a number of shots you can play, all relatively easy if you're good at chipping, straight into the green. If you're off to the side, you may find you're in water, bunkers, heavy rough, and you're playing up to an elevated green that breaks either left to right or right to left. A much more difficult shot where, you know, you better be quite confident with your lob wedges and sand wedges in order to throw one up there and get it to stop reasonably close to the pin. So for me, I like to see players play the long iron more so than the rescues, because I think it's easier to keep the ball straight. Off-centre hits are not affected as badly with the irons because we've got the ball being propelled left or right off the face of the rescues because of the lack of friction. We're not getting the curve back. We don't have that with the irons. Keep it in the fairway, give yourself an easier chip shot, hopefully make a better score. I really hope this information is going to help you with your shot selection the next time and hopefully help you with your scoring too. Please stay tuned to my YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to it and get all the videos that we're going to be posting over the coming months. And I hope that your game improves as you go through the summer. Enjoy.